All right, today we're going to break down a really simple 10-minute system designed to make your medical appointments faster, safer, and just way less stressful. It's all about fixing one single, incredibly frustrating moment that I guarantee you've experienced. You know this question. You're sitting there in the exam room, the clinician asks it, and all of a sudden there's this wave of pressure. That one moment can kind of define the entire visit, right? And right on cue, your brain just decides to check out. You know you changed something. There was that new prescription, but the actual details? Poof, gone. It is such a common and maddening feeling. So why does this happen to us? Well, it's because health visits are what you'd call high-friction environments. You're worried. You're trying to remember what questions you wanted to ask. You're watching the clock, and your brain power, your cognitive bandwidth, it just shrinks. This isn't about being unprepared. It's just about being human under a bit of stress. And look, this is way more than just a minor inconvenience. Fumbling for an answer like, I think it's a blue pill, has real costs. It can kick off this whole cascade of follow-up calls from the pharmacy, delays in getting authorizations, and that confusing back and forth between your specialists. It's a whole administrative headache that lands right back on you. So what's the solution? It's deceptively simple. A single one-page document. Now, this isn't just more paperwork, okay? It is a tool that completely changes the dynamic of your appointment from the very first minute you walk in. It's all about taking back a little bit of control. And this slide, it just shows the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got the usual chaos, trying to pass a memory test while you're stressed, scrolling through blurry photos of pill bottles on your phone. And on the right, you've got clarity. Instead of a pop quiz, you hand over structured, reliable facts. This lets the clinic staff triage you faster, and it gives everyone a single shared reference to work from. The best way to think about this sheet is as a stress-proofing tool. It's not supposed to replace your doctor's expertise, not at all. It's more like the lights on an airport runway. It doesn't fly the plane, but it sure does guide everything to a much safer, smoother landing. It just makes sure your story gets heard correctly. Okay, so let's get practical. How do you actually build this thing, this blueprint for your health? It really just comes down to a few essential sections. This table right here is your guide. For medications, you need all 5 details: name, dose, frequency, the reason you take it, and its status. Is it new? Changed? Did you stop taking it? And for allergies, don't just write the drug name. Describe what actually happened. A rash is a world away from just feeling nauseous. And please, don't forget your supplements. They give your doctor the full picture they need to have those important conversations about risk. Now, as you build your sheet, you gotta watch out for these common traps. You know, copy-pasting an old list without double-checking it, that's a classic mistake. Same with forgetting which eye a surgery was for. But honestly, the biggest one is forgetting to add a last updated date. A sheet without a date on it loses almost all of its credibility, instantly. And this might be the most important thing to remember. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Seriously, just starting with your current meds and allergies is a huge win. A partial, up-to-date sheet is infinitely more valuable than some perfect, beautiful template that you never get around to filling out. So, you've made the sheet. Awesome. But how do you make this a real, lifelong habit? It's all about creating a super simple, repeatable routine that takes just a couple of minutes. On the day of your appointment, your workflow is just 3 simple steps. 1. Before you leave the house, print a fresh copy and just give it a quick once-over. 2. At check-in, hand that sheet to the staff and, this is key, ask them to scan it into your chart. That's how you get it into your official record. And 3, when you see the clinician, you're going to use it to give a quick, confident summary. And here it is, the exact script. This is pure gold. You just say, this is my one-pager. Updated today, the biggest changes are X and Y. My top concern is Z. This little sentence turns what could be a long, rambling story into an efficient, respectful briefing that gets right to the point. It's a game changer. And if you're wondering if this is actually worth the little bit of effort, let's just look at the numbers. Let's say this system saves you just 7 minutes of repeated questions per visit. If you have 8 visits a year, that's 56 minutes. Nearly an hour of your life you get back every single year just from this one simple habit. That's pretty amazing. Okay, so let's turn this idea into action right now. Here's a simple plan you can do in the next 15 minutes. Literally, tonight. So here are your first 3 steps. 1. Just open a blank page. That's it. Digital, paper, whatever. 2. Start narrow. Just fill in 4 things: your current meds, allergies,
major eye diagnoses, and an emergency contact. And 3, set one monthly reminder in your calendar. A great tip is to link it to your prescription refill day. And that's it. You're done.
And with that one simple action, you've actually done something incredibly powerful. You've taken all that chaotic, anxious energy from appointment stress, and you've converted it into the calm, predictable power of structure. You've just given yourself control. So I'll just leave you with this question. What if your very next visit could be fundamentally different? What if it could be clearer, faster, and just safer? With this simple one-page system, it absolutely can be.